there are pans, and then there are brilliant pans.
No one's touched this. It just keeps giving.
Gold like this just does not come around all that often, and when it does, you savor it. That right there is just what I can see in the bottom of my cons bucket. Yeah, boy. This is probably going to be the best day that has ever been recorded on Vo-Gus prospecting, and it's taken 8 years to get to this point.
The 100 bucket challenge had taken me on a wild adventure. My goal was simple. How much gold could I find if I worked 100 buckets of material from good spots? Knowing that it was going to be a hard physical challenge, I had not expected it to take me 12 weeks. But in that 12 weeks, I had found some amazing gold deposits. All of that had led me to this spot, one of the richest creeks I've ever worked.
I've been looking for access to this spot for years, close to a decade, and I finally got it. The thing that gave it away was a little dredge pond. Gold prospecting is and always has been a game of gambling. You're rolling the dice on what's actually in the ground, and it can take an extraordinarily long time before you find something that's genuinely good. This is what I get in a single test pan from this spot. That is all coarse, chunky gold, and that's an average pan in this area. The real crazy thing is I am 3 meters from a road in town, and originally I was hunting for garnets in this area, not for gold. This is what I've managed to collect in 10 test pans this morning. That is probably over half a gram of gold, just purely based on the size of the specks. And that's not working a spot, that's just me poking around and having a look. 10 weeks ago I started the 100 bucket challenge, and I thought, man, I'm gonna have this all wrapped up in like 2 weeks and then we can move on to the next challenge. Well, plus 8 weeks later, and I'm finally down to my last few buckets. I've got 10 to go, and I think this is going to be the spot that we finish it. All of this is dredge tailings that is slowly collapsing back into the creek and reconcentrating. And just behind me here is an exposed section of bedrock from the original creek bottom that all those dredge tailings are falling back in on. Got a nice bedrock shelf just here, another bedrock shelf just there. We've got a divot here that is loaded with gold, and this inside bend is where that pan came from. And yeah, we got a new bucket sponsor on the channel. Bruce's Warehouse has come to the table and hooked us up. This is one of those, what happens when an immovable object and an unstoppable force collide. Except it's more like what happens when a squidgy prospector and Bruce's buckets that are stuck together struggle. Oh! It's mostly bedrock, so it should be pretty quick. Bruce's buckets are only 10 litres, and that makes them far more manageable. So for every 2 of these buckets, we're actually getting 1 of my regular buckets that I get from the 100 bucket challenge, meaning that there is only 1 bucket. Kookaburra. I've added something to my arsenal. This is by far the best thing that I've picked up recently. You know, I'm lucky. I live in a part of the world that's got ample gold, gemstones, agate, crystal mining. But something you can't avoid if you're a gold miner is old man back and sore knees. Yeah. All of that is really deep water. This is the only place I can really pan off in any kind of quantity. Perfect. This bucket is for my concentrates. I want to collect all my cons. And today I am using the Batea pan. The Batea pan is a traditional pan that's used right across the world outside of Western countries. They're normally made out of wood. This one's made by XP and it's made from plastic. And you know it's a big pan when you can barely fit it in frame and you're on a wide angle lens. These things do not lose gold if you know how to use them, but you don't use these like a traditional gold pan. You can absolutely use these like a steel bottom pan with no ripple, but there's a traditional way of doing it that works really well. First things first, you need to put some dirt in it. I could probably fit this whole bucket in there, but that makes the pan really heavy. You start off normal, you put it all under and you stratify. Then you get rid of the big rocks and break up the clay. But now for the fun part. What we're going to do is we're going to stratify, let water come in the back, and roll it out the front. Stratify, tip, stratify, tip. And we're just going to keep doing that until our dirt's been reduced. This is the last of the dirt. I processed 3 buckets in under 10 minutes. Well, I haven't processed it. I've done 6 minutes, and that's the 3rd bucket. Potato pans can move huge quantities of dirt very efficiently. They're faster than a sluice box by a long way. You don't have to classify. And even though the technique can feel a little bit tedious sometimes, when you do the maths, when you actually time them versus a flat bottom pan like a Garrett Super Sluice, the difference is phenomenal. I mean, what a way to finish the 100 bucket challenge too. Traditional pan and on really good gold. Well, the test pans, they were on good gold. I'm hoping that today's a record breaker. Kind of down to the nitty gritty of it, this is the concentrates, the heaviest, densest parts of those 3 buckets. And we have just oodles of black sand in there. When we get down to the cons, we just sort of tilt it on its side and use a rolling action. That rolling action reveals the black sand and the gold off the bottom. I'm not going to worry about taking this down too far because I know that I can do the cleanup later. A few different ways we can reveal gold in a potato pan, but the way that I find to be the best is that we make a swirl. That should concentrate most of the gold and stuff down the bottom. We're not going to get an accurate look at this. We'll get that at the end. But we tip it forward, shake it, and now we just use water. Oh, there's gold everywhere. All of that there is gold. All of that. It goes all the way up. It goes all the way up. Holy crap. Holy crap. That's chunky stuff too. That's real chunky stuff. Look at those bits. Gold prospecting is exactly like gambling. As I said at the start, you're rolling the dice on whether or not there's going to be good, consistent gold within the ground, and it takes a lot of research, practice, groundwork to come out to a spot like this and be able to hit it. That trench paid out really well, but it wasn't the best spot, and because we're in winter here in Australia and it gets dark a lot earlier and we're expecting storms for the next 2 days, I would really like to work the spot that gave me the best gold, which is just in this area here. Now it really drops off quite deep. I need waders to get out there properly, which is an oversight on my behalf, but we'll do the best we can and pick up what we can, because even a couple of buckets of this stuff is going to pay out really well. Oh yeah, either that's going into decaying bedrock, which is great. No, it's decaying bedrock and gravel. Well, that's looking good. The decaying bedrock fractures open. It allows gold to sink into it, and then it sort of traps it there like a sluice mat. And if you get that over a really long period of time, you end up with fantastic gold. That's what we're talking about. That's the fractured stuff. Yep. Oh God, I wish I had my waders here. I should test pan that. The gold from my test panning this morning. Let's go put that in our cons bucket. I don't want to dig dirt that really isn't worth moving. So there's this bedrock shelf just here. It's either a boulder or a shelf, either way. I just want to know, like in theory, there should be gold in it, because I'm getting gold there and I'm getting gold there. That's the bottom of an old bottle. I don't know if there's nuggets here. I mean, the gold's really coarse, so obviously there's a chance. Oh, but there's gold. Oh, but there is gold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice coarse little pieces. No one's touched this in a really long time. I'm going to take a little bit of a different tactic this time. I'm going to process a bucket and then reveal the cons and see what we actually get. Add them to the pan. see how good my panning is. If there isn't at least 5 flakes in here, I've done something horribly wrong. That pan weighs an absolute ton. Now, I don't know if there's nuggets here, but the type of gold is lending itself to maybe that there's going to be small ones. It'd be really cool to get a good sized chunk out of here. Like, I've had some luck on the 100 bucket challenge in terms of getting some little mini ones and, you know, some pickers. But, I mean, like a proper chunk, you know, like a 1 grammer, that'd be real good. All right, that's the cons of that first bucket. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to get the close-up camera on it. Oh, I've got gold already all the way up the top here. 1 bucket. Oh yeah. Yeah. There's gold in that. There's good gold. Oh my God. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. Look at that. It's all chunks. It's all chunks. That's from 1 10-litre bucket. I'm gonna try and film this. It's a bit difficult with the potato pan to film the reveal, but we're going to see all the gold at the end anyway. Holy freaking crap. I got my pickery bits. I got my pickery bits. That's a day. Oh man. It's all cool stuff. I want to stop and celebrate right now, but nah, I'm going to do the other buckets. I'm just going to show you the results of those buckets. All the silt tends to collect in the bottom of the cone and clog it up. So if you just put your hand in there and move it around as you stratify, it kind of breaks it all up and stops it from clumping. I think everyone should try one of these once. If you're a gold prospecting enthusiast and you haven't tried a potato pan, you're missing out, because this is what the Aztecs used. This is still the primary gold pan, and it's been in use for well over 4,000 years. So there's actually a lode deposit not too far from here, only about 100 meters away, that's in the creek for tin. So I've been getting a lot of crystals, like tin crystals and specimens and stuff. Very interesting. And then I found with the potato pan, if you tip all the dirt off sideways, any gold that's in there struggles behind, and you'll see it before it even gets a chance to escape. So you're kind of constantly rotating the pan as you wash off while you do that swirl. Oh, is that a big bit? No, that's mica. Every time, Chris. Yellow rocks tricking ya. Right, usually there's nothing in the front, that's why we stratify, but I always check it. Alright, our good gold's going to be in here. Is that another little nugget? I don't know. There was a lot of gold in that. Holy crap. Oh, look at it. Look at it all. Oh, I don't think it was a nugget, I just think it was a bunch of gold put together. Oh, I'll get the close-up camera on that. A whole trail of gold just down the pan. They're all pickers. End of the second bucket. Now I did take that bucket and those 2 buckets from slightly different places within that section. So there's no guarantee that this is going to be as good as the last one. Not as much black sand in this one, actually very little. Little garnet there. Nice. Okay, our gold should be in here. Yeah, I see it. It's still not bad. I don't think it's quite as good as the last one. Nah, but it's still chunky gold. Look at the size of that. Like, they're all pickery bits. It's just that in this case, not quite as many of them. That's alright. That was probably from behind that place I test panned. Bottom of the third bucket, bringing us to 6 total. Don't know how much is going to be in this. Yeah, we got some. Oh my god, look at that. That's a little nuggie. That's a little nuggie. Oh, they are here. Oh, oh my god. That is a proper little picker nugget for my area. That's huge. Gold like this just is not that common. That's wicked. That's huge. That is so much gold. One pan. All the bits are big. This has definitely set me up for a record-breaking day. There's no way that we're not getting more than a couple of grams today. We're probably over a gram already. This is phenomenal. A spot like this is incredibly rare. No one's touched it. No one's touched this in a really long time. This is all going to be pretty much exactly the same for the next couple of hours. So I'm going to put you guys down and I'm going to get to work. When you see me next, I'll be showing you some gold that I've found. There is brilliant sporadic gold all the way through here. These bedrock shelves and drop-offs where we got some of the first buckets. And then I came around this corner. There's a very vertical shelf just here that's about waist deep. And that's what I got for a test pan. That test pan is better than some entire days of prospecting I've done before. Wrong bucket. Get in the bucket. Hold that thought. I think this might have been one of the best pans I have ever got. There are pans, and then there are brilliant pans. Holy crap. Let's find out. Let's just find out how much is actually in there. That looks good. Okay, it's definitely not one of the best pans I've ever got, but damn, that's some chunky gold. That's the second really decent little nuggie that I got today. It just keeps giving. Gold like this just does not come around all that often, and when it does, you savor it. You savor it, my friend. You don't let this go quickly. You sit there in it, enjoying it. In part, doing the 100 bucket challenge was all about expanding my skills, not only for work ethic and not only for the physical challenge of it, but pushing myself to find spots that were going to give me good gold so that this series would be a good series. And in doing that, I had to branch out and go find new places, explore new areas, and take the risks that you need to take when you're a gold prospector to find that good gold. I just can't believe how well it's paid off. I assumed I would have found a little bit, but nothing as good as this. I am chugging away through the buckets, and I just stopped to have a quick look in my cons bucket to see where we're at. That right there is just what I can see in the bottom of my cons bucket. Yeah, boy. It's just amazing to me how much gold is actually here. And it's everywhere. It's just riddled with it, and it's all coarse. I've spent years mining flour gold. To find a spot now that has this much coarse chunky gold in it is amazing to me. I've always professed that to find chunky gold you'd have to get out of my region. Like, there are places here that you can definitely find some nice coarse bits and nuggets, but not this consistently and not over this length of river. Oh, but I can't lift it. Why can't I lift it? Is that a boulder? Oh, this is going to take a while. Yeah. Oh, what am I? Vengeance of the Creek. New Star Wars movie. If you enjoy watching my show or any other creator's show here on YouTube, Facebook, or other social media platforms, there's a really simple free way you can help us reach more people. That is to leave a comment, leaving a like to let them know that you enjoyed it, and a share so it can reach new people. That is the easiest, fastest, and cheapest way that you can help support creators here on YouTube. And for this next shameless plug, I'm gonna take my shirt off.
or you can jump down into the description where you're going to find links to a whole bunch of stuff that we set up. On my website, I've got pay dirt, gold pans, gold nuggets, crystals, and a whole bunch of other crap, including merch. Come on, Willow Tree, you're in the way of the plug. Just like my brand new Liquid Dinosaur t-shirt, which is available now. Right, it's too cold for Shameless plugs.
That is bucket 100.
And man, am I glad to see it.
If you've seen any of my recent videos, you'll know just how good these little pans are at doing final cleanups or processing buckets like this. So that's how we're going to end the 100 bucket challenge, with my pancake pan. This whole thing started because I saw Sluicing for Gold doing the 100 bucket challenge on Facebook because I was doom scrolling one day trying to think of an idea. Thanks, Sluicing for Gold. Thanks for the 2.5 months worth of work.
There it is, the last bucket. The little bird supervisor's here to see the end results. Aren't ya? I don't think there's going to be a really big amount in this last one. I'm scraping up the dregs of this spot. I need to come back with waders at another point. Oh, I'm already getting gold though. Yeah, a little bit. I would have expected to see a little bit more from what we're getting at the start of the day. But that's about right, considering we're literally down to the last tiny pieces of gravel and pay dirt left. Now, I don't know how much we've got in that bucket, but I'm betting it's at least a couple of grams. Every piece is big. There was a lot of them. I didn't get skunked on a single pan, but we won't know until we clean it up. So we're going to go home, get this lot cleaned up, and see how much we actually got. I've just finished cleaning up this gold, and that is an amazing amount considering just panning. I wasn't high banking, I wasn't river sluicing. And let me tell you, that is a bonanza. So much of that gold is coarse, chunky, and shapely. Literal chunks of gold. Leave your guess in the comments below. I want to know how much you think I managed to pan out. The gold's all dry and ready to weigh. I was always told not to play with my gold, otherwise I would go blind or grow hairy palms, but here I am playing with a whole bunch of it. The thing that gets me about this is that all of the pieces are chunky. Even the really fine gold has shape about it, and that's going to make our weigh up a lot better. I don't think we're going to beat 6 grams, which is the record for the 100 bucket challenge, but I think we're going to have a good day nonetheless. So let's throw that on the scales and find out just how much I got. And before that, you should check down below to make sure that you are still subscribed to the channel, because you should still be unsubscribing people without mine or your permissions. And if you want to pan your very own gold off like this, I've got pay dirt available on my website, The Old Mold. I'm really hoping for more than 3 grams. It would be a great way to finish the 100 bucket challenge. Oh, we're probably going to do it. We got half a gram there and we've barely moved anything off the sheet of paper. Oh, there's our 2. Alright, we are definitely going to hit more than 3. Can we get anywhere near 6? Because if I can beat 6, that's the most gold I've panned on camera ever. We got over 4. 5. Oh, I might do this. Come on, baby. 5.8. That is the second highest amount of gold I've ever dug up on camera on Vo-Gus prospecting. 5.8 grams just hand panning casually. That is a gorgeous amount of gold. And even though it's clean, we're now going to add it to the real dirty gold so we can clean it up in our final episode of the 100 bucket challenge. I'm not sure how much gold I'm going to get out of the 100 bucket challenge, but it's got to be close to the ounce, right? It's got to be.